July 18, 2017, at approximately 6:31 p.m. I call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Santiago.
Here.
Commissioner Ennis.
Here.
Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Perka-Comperi.
Here.
And Commissioner Sui.
Here.
We're going to have an invocation delivered by Pastor Steve Harris of the Restoration House, followed by the salute to the flag. Please stand.
Thank God for air conditioning. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this gathering. We thank you for this city, Lord. We ask that this evening, Father, that we exchange new ideas, we get business done, and Lord, that the issues of the day be addressed. I pray, Father, for our community, Lord, that you protect it. And I pray, Lord, that safety and your hand be upon it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor Steve. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975. Was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by law. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Before we start with the meeting, I'll go up to the podium here. We're going to have a proclamation. Pastor, come on up, please. Pastor Speeds, who always is here to give us the invocation. We appreciate his time that he comes and he volunteers. So we have a proclamation. Whereas the Central Baptist Church has faithfully proclaimed the gospel of Jesus Christ for 175 years, and whereas Central Baptist Church has faithfully served all the citizens of the city of Millville through such organization as the Help and Hope Food Bank, the Code Blue program providing warming centers for the homeless, and the Cornerstone Women's Resource Center for pregnant women in need of assistance. And whereas Central Baptist Church has faithfully participated in ministry with other faith traditions through the Greater Millville Ministry Association, and whereas 3 sons of the Central Baptist Church had given the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country, and whereas several sons and daughters of Central Baptist Church have entered full-time Christian mission and ministry, now therefore be it proclaimed that the Board of Commissioners of the City of Millville do hereby recognize and honor Central Baptist Church of Millville and Vineland, which was established in 1842 and is celebrating its 175th anniversary this year, July 18, 2017, signed by myself and all the other commissioners and our city clerk, Jeannie Hitchner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Can I say that
You can say whatever you want.
Pastor Harris
Jump right up to the mic. It's all
actually
you.
started in Central Baptist, so he's one of those who
That's why you're so well
circuitously.
done, is what you're saying, huh?
And can you believe this? John Tyler was the president of the United States when the church was born, and they were probably having the same problems in Washington then as they were today. Not much has changed.
Probably not this far. My own horn.
But through it all, what's that?
I said move the resolution.
Yeah.
Well,
So
congratulations.
thank you so much.
Also from the commissioners. You're welcome. Thank you. Nice on you. Congratulations. I know Joe appreciated that.
I did.
Madam Clerk, are there any review changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor, we added under new business item 2, a motion to authorize the city clerk to advertise for bids for a demolition of 500 Columbia Avenue and also 16 West McNeil Street.
Okay, noted.
Motion to approve and dispense with the reading of the July 5th, 2017 work session minutes
and July 5th, 2017 Commission meeting minutes, and to proceed with the regular order of business. Motion?
And second?
Second it.
Any comments?
Who made that second?
Commissioner Davis.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Compare?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Bills,
Motion
please.
that the bills be paid.
Second.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Compare?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We now open up public comment on agenda items only. Anyone that would like to speak about an agenda item, please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close the public comment on agenda items only. Can we go right into old business, please?
There is no old business tonight, Mayor.
All right, petitions and letters.
There is no petitions and letters.
Very nice. Reports of commissioners. Commissioner Davis.
A couple things. The Department of Public Affairs, through collections of vacant property registrations, foreclosures, and rental registrations, have collected for the first 6 months of the year $651,997. Of that, $52,200 was in the month of June. So they continue to work hard, bring revenue into the city. A couple events that went through last week, both on the same day, actually a very hot day. Play Street started last Wednesday, and it's going to run through, I believe, August 23rd, every Wednesday, on Pine Street, between 2nd and 3rd. Great event. I think they had somewhere around 260 or 70 kids. Not 200, 160 or 270 kids Wednesday. And that was the first week, so last year it grew every week. I imagine it's going to get up over 200 in the next week or so. So that was good news. Yeah, another great event I went to was at the World War II Army Airfield Museum. They painted a new mural on the building, what known as the Link Training Building. Pretty unique World War II depiction of this Link Training simulator. It was done by the same artist who's done the other 4 murals in the city, Mr. Donovan. I can't think of his first name, I'm sorry. But just turned out great, and added to the collection of the library and the museum at the airport museum. With that, Mayor, progress.
Thank you. Commissioner Sui.
Sure. First, we'll do a streets and roads update. So brush collection is resumed, and we're on the east side of town. The road repair on Pleasant Drive is completed. The sinkhole at Homestead and Harrison Avenue is repaired. Curb painting in the downtown area has started, as you can tell by the new blue and yellow paint. And obviously on July 14th, we had a storm coming through Millville. It was a pretty severe storm. It produced over 2 inches of rain in 20 minutes, which caused flooding in some parts of town. And I was out, the mayor was out, the engineers were out, members from Streets and Roads were out. For the most part, our drainage basins were clear. The high amount of rain, the pipes cannot carry that much water that fast. Many of you noticed in the areas that it receded in a lot of areas, with the exception of White Marsh, rather quickly. But they were out taking some elevations for Perecca Drive. If there's anybody here, that just happens to be the one that engineering brought. So if anybody's here, I can explain that with a map later if they'd like after the meeting. And then I have to remind people not to dump their loose leaves and grass clippings at this time of year. They have to be bagged. Additionally, while engineering was out today, checking on the elevations, checking in the waters of the basins, they actually watched several people just dump grass and leaves on top of the drainage basins. It doesn't help. It makes it worse. So we have a regular schedule that we do to keep the drainage basins clean. This stuff kind of interrupts that, and it hurts. And it hurts your neighbors. Sometimes it hurts yourself. Sometimes it hurts the guy living 2 blocks away when all your water goes down and there's so much down at his end where it can't get down here and it goes down the road. You know, that's somebody else's house you have to worry about. So please, people, don't do that. What else? Trash collection, or mostly recyclables, was backed up until today. They tried to catch up today with the recyclables due to the weather. If you come, we're doing the best we can. There's an abundance of potholes, and we're filling them as soon as we're aware. If you notice any, please give us a call at 825-7000, extension 7388. They blocked off part of Riverside Drive today with cones because there's some nasty roads problems there. They're going to start working on that next week. I got a lot of stuff here. That's another letter from engineering. Remind me to remind people. However, let's move on to the library roof. We have we met with the person to prepare the bid specs. We have a couple options. I'm waiting to hear back from the library to see which option we wish to exercise. So after I meet with them, we'll move on with that. The RRCA building, the roof is slated to begin in replacement actually, is slated to begin in September. We moved it back to September because we were able to save money on the contractors, as they're mostly doing schools right now. So they suggested that we move it back. We did. We did that before we bid it, and so that'll help with that. The pathway around Corson Park, around Hankins Pond, that will be resurfaced, and that should begin this week. So that's good news for people that walk on it and run track and field. Also, I want to address a water problem that the State Board of Education, some of you may receive that letter in the mail, that the State Board of Education called for immediate testing for lead at all New Jersey public schools, charter schools, etc. And a couple of schools in Millville had problems. Our water is tested at the surface. Additionally, it's tested throughout the city. So the problem, I don't want to say it's not a city problem. It's, of course, a city problem. It affects city kids. But the problem is within the buildings. It appears to be within the buildings, within the schools themselves. So the Board of Education will have to address that. The data transfer is being delayed. As the company doing the data transfer, as you'll recall, we decided to separate ourselves from the shared services with the Board of Education. So the company doing the data transfer is supposed to begin this on Thursday, in which case if they do, the city email will be down for a while. However, they have not had a response from the Board of Education concerning the transfer of the email, and that's contingent upon removing the domain name, which belongs to the city, millvillenj.gov, from the Board of Education server. So I don't know what the hold up there. We talked about it in the work session. We asked our attorney to contact the Board of Education's attorney and see what that problem is. Now for the events. I don't think I went over that yet. Save the good stuff for last, I guess. Play Streets, it's every Wednesday in July and August, and that's Pine Street from 2nd and 3rd, and activities are provided for our youth at those, as Bill went. Fishing tournament, again, Saturday, August 27th, 9 a.m. at Corson Park. Community Day, September 9th, 12 to 3 at Buck Park. Baby Show, September 17th. Registration starts at 1 p.m. at Corson Park. Pet Show is September 23rd. Registration for that is noon at Corson Park. And if you have any more events or information or you need any more about the events, call 856-825-7000, extension 7394. That's it for now.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Ennis?
Nothing at this time, sir. Thank you.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes, the tax rate has been finalized. The City of Millville municipal zero tax increase. That's the 4th year in a row, so I'm very proud that the other commissioners worked hard with us to keep it at zero. We did that with still replacing the infrastructure and increasing the number of police. However, the bad news now, the school tax is going to go up 1.5 cents, and the county tax is going up again for 2.7 cents. So the taxes are going to increase 4.2. As the tax rate was received late and the tax bills have not gone out yet, there will be an extended grace period, so the due date will not be the normal August 10th. That'll be in the information when they mail it out. The city was audited. The results were in. There were no significant findings, so that's a tribute to our CFO, so we thank her for that. So we're good that way. The bond rate, we had a bond sale to pay for a lot of things and improvements that have been going on, and we got a great rate. It's 2.63%. Our present bonds range from 2 to 5.75. So, and the majority of those presently are 3 to 5. So we'll be saving money with the new rate. When we were on the radio the past weekend, we were asked about the loan investigation by HUD. That is still going on. They thought it would take 2 years to come to completion, so they're 1 year into it. So work is still continuing on our end, collecting the loans, new policies, so it's not going to happen again. We discussed what to do at the work session with the contractors that did not get permits. It was decided by all the commissioners that we should proceed with trying to collect those fees. We're also still working on decreasing the historical designation at the airport. This is important because it will help to have more development projects out there and more businesses go. This is a long process. We're hoping to have the final paperwork done in a month. And then that'll go up to the state, and then it will depend how long they take to decide. At the last meeting, I discussed that the racetrack had fixed their PA system. I am very sorry to report they did not. So I contacted them. They said it's still going to take a little bit longer. We can still hear the PA in the houses, in the neighborhoods around the track. It's very disappointing to me that they said they were going to fix it. This has only been a 3-year process, so I'm hoping that maybe by the end of the year that will be done. We also discussed the Levoy in the work session. We would like some public input about this. The city previously spent, not us, the previous commissioner spent over $12 million on the Levoy. There's one more bill that is due for them from the tax credits. The Levoy was supposed to be making payments on that for the past several years. They did not. So now the tax credit organizations come to the city and they would like the payment. It started out at $422,000. By discussions with them, we now have it down to $96,000. They would like it yesterday. We have to decide when and if we wish to pay that. We're in a bad position if we don't pay it. The $12 million in loans that the city has are in second position. That means we will probably lose the $12 million if the tax credit company moves forward to try to get their money back from the Levoy. If we pay it off, then we will be in first position. So if loans aren't paid or if the situation so arises, then the city's in a position to take over the Levoy. So we would like input and opinion from the citizens here. It's a big decision. It's a no-win decision. Either way, the city's going to either lose $12 million potentially, or we're going to have to put out $96,000. And with that, progress.
Thank you, Commissioner Perry. I have some stats here from the police department provided by Chief Farabella concerning our neighborhood crime police unit. June 13th through June 30th, they made 60 arrests, inclusive of city ordinance violations, warrants, criminal trespass, possession of controlled dangerous substance, possession of paraphernalia, hypodermic needles, loitering, unlawful possession of weapons, hindering, aggravated assault, simple assaults, resisting arrest, and curfew arrests. They made 32 traffic summonses and recovered a stolen vehicle. In addition to that, they covered Third Friday and the Millville High School graduation. July 1st through the 17th, we had an officer that was injured while out there doing his duties, and unfortunately he's going to be out for some time. But they made 32 arrests, including those same as the ones I just announced, and 19 traffic summonses. In addition to that, I got a report from the fire department from Chief Lippincott. Total emergencies to date are 79. Total fire calls for 2017 were 547. Breakdown for the month: fire calls, structures and dwellings were 7, multi-alarm 0. No hands-on fire or second alarms or third alarms. Fire calls for vehicle 0, brush 2. Rescue motor vehicle crashes 26. Hazardous condition 14. General services 2. Good intent 6 and false alarm 22. Total man hours were 160. They had training and drilling. They have one training for one time. Fire prevention 0. Smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detector inspections for the month were 42. Year-to-date, 185. Fire safety permits issued for the month were 5. Year-to-date was 72. Life hazard fire inspections were 20, and year-to-date was 248. Total fire inspections completed year-to-date are 505. So can I have a motion to
Move to receive and file the report.
Second?
Second.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Pereira-Campari?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
And that's all I have. Can we go right into ordinance of second reading?
Was that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Motion
I
carries.
thought it was automatic yes.
Okay, first ordinance on second reading is an ordinance authorizing a letter agreement, grant of easement, and lease assignment for Block 365, Lot 9 for the purchase price in the sum of $245,000.
Move the ordinance on second reading.
Second the motion.
This is a ordinance for the public hearing on second reading, so anyone that has any comments concerning this ordinance of us passing it and moving forward with it, please step up to the mic, state your name and your concerns, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. Seeing no one, I close the public portion on this ordinance number 1. Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Campari?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance on first reading, please.
There are no ordinances on first reading, Mayor.
All right, resolutions.
Okay, item 1 is a resolution authorizing adjustments in the tax and utility records.
Move the resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Campari?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is a resolution accepting the annual audit report for the calendar year 2016 and filing of the group affidavit.
Move the resolution.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Campari?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3 is a resolution authorizing special assessment of municipal liens for certain properties due to expenses incurred by the City of Millville relating to cut and clean plus administrative fees in accordance with Chapter 11, Article 6 of the Municipal Code.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Any comments?
Yeah, just one thing, Mayor. As you can see by this document, they're still cutting quite a few every week. We're about maybe 2 or 3 weeks behind because of the abundance of trash on these properties and the time it's taking to clean them up. People are using these abandoned properties as their personal dumps. So, but we're coming. We're coming to clean them up. It's just taking more time than we expected.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Campari?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4 is a resolution authorizing letter of agreement between the City of Millville and County of Cumberland for administration of a grant to the Millville Municipal Alliance to prevent alcoholism and drug abuse for the period covering fiscal year 2017 in the amount of $31,594.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Any comments? I don't see Joe here. He's usually here, right?
Yeah, usually is.
All right. Does a great job. Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Campari?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 5 is a resolution authorizing special assessment of municipal liens for certain properties due to expenses incurred by the City of Millville relating to board and secure plus administrative fees in accordance with Chapter 11, Article 6 of the Municipal Code.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Campari?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
New business, please.
Make a motion to authorize the following special events on public lands applications. Back-to-school family event sponsored by the, no, I mean, I should.
Centro Compromiso Cristiano.
Thank you. On August
I have the translation there.
2017, from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the two plazas on Sassafras Street. The 2017 Downtown Car Show sponsored by the Greater Millville Chamber of Commerce on August 12, 2017 with a rain date of August 19, 2017 from 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. on High Street from Main to Broad. And the community event Day of Play sponsored by the Holly City Family Success Center on September 16th from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Waltman Park.
Second the motion.
Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Campari?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I make a motion to authorize the city clerk to advertise for the demolition of 500 Columbia Avenue, which is the Rescue Squad building, and 16 West McNeil Street.
Second the motion.
Any comment?
A couple of eyesores that have to go.
Absolutely.
They're both city-owned properties, so that's why we did not have a demolition hearing for these.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Commissioner Ennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Perecca-Campari?
Yes.
Commissioner Sui?
Yes.
Mayor Santiago?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We've now reached the public comment portion of our meeting. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name, and address your concerns. Please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes.
Good evening, Commissioners. Angeline Broomhall Millville. I just wanted to, I'm really not going to complain. I want to thank Commissioners Perecca-Campari and Commissioners Commissioner Davis for supporting our fundraiser for the Phenom Holiday Party. It's going to be our second time doing this event, and we're super excited. We're going to be continuing our fundraising efforts with the sale of official Millville Rocks t-shirts. The logo is really amazing. For anyone who's seen the banner, that's what your t-shirts are going to look like. They're going to be in blue and orange, and they're really going to show Millville pride. Every last penny of the sale of the t-shirts will be going right into the holiday party for the deserving Millville teens and their families. We're really super excited about this event this year. So that's all I just wanted to announce. I just want to thank everybody again very, very much. It's wonderful to be able to work with the city and to have all the community working together to make this event happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelina.
Evening, Pastor Steve and Anna Marie. My wife's here with me tonight for a change. It's been a while. First of all, that rock thing really has taken off. Cindy Cook came over to my house and slipped one on my desk and said the Harris family rocks. I was like, man, that's pretty cool, you know. But it's built morale. It really has. It's kind of like, you know, it's like a silly little game, but it really has built morale. And a lot of people are talking about it and they're laughing about it, and it's like a little game played. And that's what we need. It doesn't cost anything more but time, right? So little things like that do make a difference. I want to address what Commissioner Linden said about the Levoy. Man, that's a tough spot. We have dumped so much money into that building, and it's a great facility. But it just seems like it keeps falling into a black hole time after time after time. And I don't want to speak disrespectfully of, you know, whoever's leading it right now and so forth. But at some point, if you let it go, that is a huge piece of High Street that will be sitting there. And if we continue to bail it out, so I don't know the answer, but I guess my gut is that somehow, some way, if the city takes it over, like, what happens with that at that point? Do we like form a committee to run it, or do you sell it, or what?
Can I go ahead and comment
Yes,
on
go
what
ahead.
you said
please,
so
Joe.
far? First of all, if we buy that loan, that doesn't mean we take it over.
Okay.
That means we hold the paper. So say, and I tried to explain this earlier at the work session, say you lent your kid $250,000 for a house and he was paying you back.
Okay.
And then he borrowed $50,000 from the bank.
Right.
And he didn't pay the bank back. And the bank's going to foreclose on it.
Okay.
And you can make a deal to pay $10,000 so the bank doesn't foreclose.
Gotcha.
What are you going to do? So the idea is to protect the taxpayer's investment
Right.
of that $12 million. It's not like we're giving the Levoy any more money to operate or anything like that. It's to protect the investment that the taxpayers have already made.
Okay.
What happens after that, say the Levoy, you know, I don't want this to happen, we all agree that the Levoy should stay open.
Right.
But say it does close, and then we don't get the building. Then what?
Yeah.
So, you know, somebody pointed out, you don't really want to be in the theater business, and no, and then they said, well, you're financing it, so,
Yeah.
you know, we kind of are, unfortunately, you know.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the position we're in. So, you know, personally, I don't see any choice in the matter, real choice. There's no good choice. I'm just trying to make the best of two bad ones.
I mean, we were at El Guacamole, and it was last Friday, and the place was hopping. There must have been a show going on. And, I mean, everywhere you went in that area was business.
Yeah.
You had to get a reservation to go in El Guacamole. That's a good thing. So, again, that's just my personal, you know, you asked what's the feedback. I think that you're probably going to have to do what you got to do to, you know, make sure that we secure it. If we lose it, there it goes again. And all that effort and all that we put into it is now gone. Now you have another building they're going to have to worry about. So that's just my feedback. I wanted to commend you also, Commissioner Lynn, because I saw the article that was about the property, the Country Inn, that whole thing next to Wheaton Arts. And I guess that's about to become a deal, or is that potentially a deal? What is it like really going forward, or is it just a
It's at the planning board now, so
Okay.
the planner is going to look at it, evaluate if it should be named an area in need of redevelopment.
Okay.
If that happens and the planning board agrees, it comes back to us to vote on it, and then at that time we can negotiate with the company to see what they want and what the city thinks they should get,
Awesome.
and weigh the cost benefits. But it's looking good. It's a good project, so I think it'll move forward.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
because
good.
when I saw that, and I like the tax rateable, how you did that in a phased in,
Correct.
where it wasn't a 5-year free, it was just, in increments. I thought that was excellent. Mayor, if you don't mind asking a question, the biggest hindrance that you have to hiring police is money, correct?
Correct.
So my thinking is this. I got dragged into the Millville Chamber of Commerce Board. So what we're
You're
trying
a big
to...
guy. I couldn't
know,
see
right?
him doing that.
Fall hard. We need business. We need ratables.
Yeah.
And so I think we've been hammering you about cops, but, I'm hoping that we can work together and try to work to develop some ideas of bringing jobs back here and bring in the ratables so we can get the income so then we can do these types of things. If you don't have employment here, you're going to continue to have the problems you're having. It's no dark secret. But if we start putting people back to work and we start bringing in revenue, now we're talking a different ballgame. So I think the three of you were at last year. We had at the Wheaton building. We had that big seminar thing where like a SWOT analysis. Well, we talked about that we want to get that up and running and start working together to get whatever that came out of it, resurface it. If you know Earl Sherrick,
Yes.
who is the executive director, he actually had a bout with cancer, and he's doing okay now, but he's doing chemo treatments. So he's really excited about the new direction that we're trying to do with the chamber. But one of the things we talked about was we need to get that plan, because all these businesses get together along with you guys to talk about what were the strengths and weaknesses of Millville. We got a gem sitting there, and we need to get that off the shelf and get it into the right hands and start developing some ideas out of it. We have too many good things in Millville that we can highlight. And the other thing that you mentioned too about the airport, I am praying that they change the zoning on that. I am praying that they preserve what they need to preserve, but that is a gold mine out there. I mean, I even had it in my head that we could have a roller coaster, you could have a park out there. My goodness, you know what we could do out there? So I really think that these are things that we need to start moving forward with to help move Millville forward. And the final note I want to say to Reverend Ennis, I was thinking about you the other day, and I just want to thank you so much, because had you not reached out to me, I don't know if I'd be standing here right now in this arena. And you took me under your wing, and those Peace in the City meetings meant a lot. And although you may not see a lot of it right now, and you may be discouraged about it, I'm encouraged because I still hear people talk about it to this day. So don't give up. And I thank you for standing by my wife and I.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you very
and
much.
Bill, great job.
I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to comment a little bit on the redevelopment.
Yes.
We've been working on the airport probably for over 2 years now, trying to get that designation done. And we had a meeting today with the environmental attorney, so he's been working. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. I just hate to talk about them, and everybody gets their hopes up, and then it goes crashing down, or it takes 2 more years longer than we think it's going to. But I'll have to bring it next meeting. I made a list of all the redevelopment projects that we have going and what has happened in the city, and a lot of it's happened quietly, but there has been some good positive movement forward, and that's all a plus. So I'm hoping between the assisted living and the airport and our redevelopment attorney thinks outside of the box, and it's been a whole new direction for ideas, and I think that has really helped us. And he really, even like when we're talking about the assisted living, which is a great project, he's looking at it's got to be a benefit for the city too.
Sure.
So instead of just giving away the Ford all the time, or whatever you want to call it, we're making sure that the city gets what it needs, people get jobs, and I'm really starting to be a little bit more positive in the direction that we're going.
Yeah, me
So
too.
hopefully, if we can get rid of that Wheaton property, we'll be just having
That's
a heyday.
another one. Yep.
So,
And we got to give Verna Herman a bigger building. The poor woman. She's
Oh, at the
busting out of
airport.
it, man. That
Yeah.
place
Yeah.
is a gold mine
Yeah.
too. But anyway, thank you guys.
Thank you, Pastor
Thank you,
Steve
sir. Ma'am.
and Mary.
Mary Messick here of Millville. First of all, I'd like to make the comment about Play Streets of last week. That was very enjoyable. This was the first year I got to see what Play Streets was really all about. Kids of all ages including the adults. Although at half the time I couldn't tell during the course of the day who had more fun, the kids or the grown-ups. But nonetheless, it was a good thing. Kids interacted with grown-ups, grown-ups interacted with kids, and kids got to do things that they probably don't really have a chance to do on a normal day-to-day basis. The other thing of it is, I agree with Pastor Steve. We've done a lot of things in this city that are good. That needs to stay going forward. And the only reason that has been going good the way it has been is because the city, law enforcement, and the taxpayers had band together, which we've all known for years. This city has a great abundance of volunteers that will pitch in, that love this city, have pride in this city, regardless of what all these polls and papers are showing and everything else. Yes, we need, in order to attract business, we need to emphasize on what we do have. There's not any other places I know of that can sit there and state they've got waterways, they've got railways, they have access to 3 major highways. They're only 45 minutes to an hour away from major places. They're all good points. Not to mention the fact that we have railways. We have air that we can sit there and get our goods out with. We do have a factory within our city that actually has the only contract I know of that can send food overseas. They were down around Wildwood. They chose to come to Millville. Maybe we really need to sit down at a table and have a discussion with them to find out what was it that Millville had to offer that they thought so well of that they decided to move here and then turn around and expand. And from what I understand, there's a possibility they're going to re-expand. But these are all positive notes. And I thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mary.
Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Betty Montleone, Millville. Just a few little reminders, because sometimes everybody needs a smack on the head to remind them how we got where we're at. Now, the 4.2 tax increase is going to cause one thing: more abandoned houses and more families who can't afford it. Like Mary said about the company moving here, what did they have here? They have people who will work for low-paying jobs. We need jobs that pay a decent wage. You can't live on the salaries that most places in Millville pay. And most places aren't going to come for 2 reasons. And you have to be a genius to know this: tax rate, crime, and even the water rates are high. So when a company or a homeowner looks at all the above, what are they going to say? You know, that's one thing. I think the leeway is a total disgrace. So many people stood here over the years and warned the people making these decisions that this would never work. Now, I don't understand how these people, with all their degrees and all their high salaries that the city was paying them, could not figure out that this would not work. They were so busy spending thousands on feasibility studies and pavers, and while they let the whole city fall apart. Believe me, I know. I've lived through it falling apart. And some people who came here more recently are seeing it accelerate. And the leeway is a disgrace. I don't know what you do about it now, But my biggest fear is if the city ends up with it, we get different people in those seats that they'll say it's too big to fail, we have to support it. And the taxpayers of Millville cannot support that theater anymore. It's just like that building they built, the arts building. How many people was that supposed to bring in to city to shop and eat? I go down that street all the time. I don't see nobody around that building. I don't go in it, but I don't see anybody. I don't see the streets full. So there's another that they were told this is not a good investment. You want to make and spend money like that on your city, you have to make sure your city is safe first. You clean up the city and you have it a beautiful place that you can build these theaters and art districts and have and be able to afford it. But they went backwards. They put the cart before the horse. And I can't tell you how many people stood here and told them this over and over and over the years. Not one person listened. So now my warning. I hope everybody in Millville has their TV on right now. Because trust me, if you don't watch who you vote for in this coming up election, you're not going to want to live in this city. You're going to hightail it out because they're going to waste. We don't have much left to waste, but they will. They'll find all their Aussie projects and all their expensive little things to put your tax money and raise your tax rate. And they don't care about the people. We have some good people on that commission now. I just wish we had 4 more years to let it continue so we can continue on this path we're on, because maybe there might be hope for this city. Without it, I'm sorry, I'll be the first one headed up 55 because I can't take it anymore. I can't stand to see a place I moved here because I loved. I can't stand to see people trying to sell their house for $25,000. I hate driving down the street and seeing all these houses boarded up. It is so sad. So please, anyone listen. I mean, I'm in the book. You can call me. I'll tell you every reason I have for voting for the people I'm voting for. So just be very careful. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no one else, I close the public comment portion of this meeting. Comments of commissioners. Commissioner Davis.
Yeah, Mayor, I just have one thing I forgot earlier. You know, I've been beating this drum for several months. High Street's getting paved.
Yeah. Give me a high five.
They look like
they're up to Harrison Avenue.
It looks like they're ahead of the schedule, so maybe it'll get
They're up
paved
on Harrison
this
Avenue.
week or early next week. But it's finally going to get paved.
You're right.
Progress.
Good. Commissioner Sui.
Yeah, I forgot something too. I wanted to give an update on the camera systems for High Street and the other camera system. The camera system for High Street, we're being held up by the electric company for the use of the telephone poles. We have people that are reaching out to the Board of Public Utilities to try to expedite their answer. As for the other system, the bid specs are prepared and we'll be going out for quotes and see where we're at with that pretty soon. Sometime probably next week. Progress.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Ennis?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I just want to revisit a thought that Betty shared earlier. And it's my personal position, as many of you heard me say over and over and over again. I'm very fond of Millville. I'm fond of it. It's my birthplace, and I can say I'm honored to have an opportunity to serve in the city in which I was born. Well, one of the things that I too hope that people are listening to tonight is, as Betty said, putting the horse before the cart. I mean, High Street's a wonderful thing, but I had a symposium back in 2009 with the past administration from this city. And we hosted that at the church, and I shared at that time that you must find a way to improve the livelihood of people, because until you do, everything that you're going to do is going to fail, because you can't attract people to a city that is haunted with crime and poverty. You cannot attract the people that you need. The facilities that we're establishing, I think they're wonderful facilities. The Leroy Theater, the Arts Building, but I'm going to still stand on the same premise that I have stood on. Whoever leads this city, you must strategically sit down and find a way not to refer to people as troubled people and problem people. People need to be improved, and we at least need to find a way to improve them and not just label people as undesirables and nuisances. People want to do better a lot of times. And I can honestly tell you that until we find a way to improve people, you can spend all the money you want on High Street. You can do all you want at the Leroy Theater. You can do all you want with the Motorsports Park. You can do whatever you want to do. You can do it. But as has been told to me, you can wear 2 left shoes, but they're going to hurt your feet. So you can do whatever you want, but until you find a way to improve the livelihoods of people and at least offer people an opportunity, Betty, to do better, I hate to say this, but we're just spinning our tires. So, Mayor, with that, Betty, I want to thank you for your comments. A lot of times when people speak, we look at them as like, oh, here they go again. But I've learned something in my life. Whether you agree or disagree, even an unplugged clock is right twice a day. And it pays us sometimes to listen to people that we may not want to hear from, but sometimes they have a lot of things to say that may be very intelligent. I want to thank you, Betty, for what you shared.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner
Progress.
No way.
Yes, what?
Well, thank you. I'm very proud of this commission. When we took this job on 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, we were hit with a lot of challenges. A lot of times we sat up here and disagreed. A lot of times we agreed. The main part of this is that you may not see it. We have found solutions to some problems. We're not going to fix every problem within the city of Millville. And I like what Betty said. I hope we're all back for 4 years, because I think we're on the right path. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate your time. With that, can I get a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second?
Second.
Any comments?
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.